Hey, what is up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today is going to be a tutorial on Unity. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a camera follow script. So let's make a new project. Let's call this project camera follow, because this is what it's going to be all about. Camera follow. So now that we have that, let's make sure it's 3D and not 2D. Make sure it's 3D, and you can select where you want your file location to be at. So let's just let this load, and while it loads, have you guys heard about Brackeys and what happened? Well, sadly, but it's true, he has stopped game development tutorials and stopped game development in all, I believe so. And it's kind of sad, yeah. And you know, he was one of the biggest people to ever bring together the whole Unity community, basically. So now that we have this loaded, let's right click in the hierarchy. Let's go to 3D object plane, and then let's scale this up to pretty big. Yeah, so it's normal. Let's call this the ground, because I like to keep things nice and organized, and you know, just to know what they're called, because as you can see, they all have the same signs. You can only tell which is which by the names. So let's right click in the hierarchy and let's get a cube. Now let's rename this one to, let's see, player. You could really call it whatever you want for now. And let's just put its Y position to 0.5. Now that we have his Y position to 0.5 and we got our player, let's go to the player, add component. And we want to add the component of rigid body. We want to make sure it's rigid body, not rigid body 2D. And so once we've done that, that's going to be like that. Let's go to the main camera now. Let's add a component and let's call this the camera. Oh, well, first, before we do that, let's go to assets and let's create, right click in the assets, create folder, and then scripts. We want to call it script because this is where we're going to keep all of our scripts to keep it organized. Now let's go back to main camera, add component, and let's call this one camera follow. So now once we have that, let's click that, create and add, and it might take a second or two to load. Create and add, and then double click on it. It's gonna open your code writer, not your code writer, whatever you use to program it. I use Visual Studio. I suggest it to you guys because it is a great programming tool. Now let's get rid of the void start because we do not really need that. And let's get rid of these two using tags right here. And then what we want to do in right is public. So this is basically a variable, and it holds like, think of it as a box, and you put stuff in it to hold for you. And then you can carry that box and you just keep filling it with stuff. So let's go public transform with a capital T. So now that we have this transform, and this is gonna be what we want. So this right here is what we want to get, and then this is what we're gonna call it. So let's just call it player, because the reason why we will call it player is because I will show you right now. So if we go to player, and the reason why I grabbed transform, because if you can see, let's just press Control S to save that. The reason why I grabbed transform is because if you grab the transform, and we want to grab the X position, the Y position, and the Z position. But right now we only grab transform, so we grab the whole thing, but we still haven't told it nothing to do. So now if we go to the main camera, we look at our script, it will show as there's nothing right there. So we want to grab our player, drag him, and then put him right there. So once we have done that, now we have this transform, like I said, the whole thing right here. Now I want to go back to our script and we want to write another variable. So we write public um, public vector3. The reason why I'll show you right now the reason for vector3, and then we want to put offset, and then the reason why we would put offset or vector3 is because vector3 is these three numbers. Vector3 is, so we're gonna grab this of our camera, the x position, the y position, and the z position. So we're gonna grab these three numbers, and now if we save our camera, we save this, we go back here, it's gonna see now we have the x position, y position, and z position. But still it won't do nothing because we haven't called nothing. So the way we could do that is we do transform with a lowercase t, transform, and then we'll do dot position. See, sometimes this would happen to me. It might happen to you guys too, but don't worry, just delete it. Do it again, and then you just want to press the space, or not the space, you want to press the right arrow or the left arrow. And there we go, it disappears. Okay, then dot position. We want to put equals player. So you can see how it popped up already, because this is a variable and this is the name of our variable. So let's just say we have this variable too, so we can just put player, and we just keep putting player and player, and, you know, other things. But let's just continue. So we have the player, and we want to grab the player position. So now that we have that, we want to put plus offset, and not object, offset, our variable. So when we got our variable, now we control S. Oh no, we have a problem. 1353. Okay. Now let's fix that. The reason why this happens, because if you take a look, we have semicolons. We need semicolons after every sentence of our program. So let me save that. Oh no, we have another problem. So then we go check that out. Oh no, I guess my spelling was incorrect. So if our spelling was incorrect, that would not work. You have to make sure all the spelling is correct. Now it's fixed. So now that it's fixed, we could just move our camera. So we can move our camera to however we like it. Right here, let's just say I like it right here. Now rotate it a little bit. Now let's just give it a nice color maybe. But we'll do that either in the next video or something else. But so now we have our offset, and this is what it's gonna do. So for now it's just gonna be 0, 0, 0. So if we leave it like that, as you can see, our camera is now inside of our player. This is good in some cases, but not all cases. So what we want to do is we want to change our position. So you see how I shaped it and made it look how I wanted it to look? Now you want to go to your camera, go to the transform, and look at the X, Y, and Z position, and you want to copy the Y position with Control C, and then you want to paste it, Control V, on the other Y position. Now if we do that, and we want to do that with the Z position too. Now once we've done that, sorry for the background noise, guys. I share a room with my brother, and then my family's here too. So, oh, I know what's going on. I'm moving that. I have to move the player. Now the player is doing that. So the player is working fine. And now if you rotate it, it still stays in the same spot. So it stays in the same spot, which is perfect. Now the reason I want to show you is what would happen if you were to put the main camera into the player, and let's just give it, let's just move this camera to make it see our player. Now, if we were to do this and move like this, yes, it looks fine, but if you would want your character to rotate, this is fine for now until you need this part. So now we have this, grab our character, right? Now we grab our character, grab our character, and the whole camera moves with our player, and we do not like that, because that does not seem right, and this is a kind of funky way of looking at the camera. Doesn't really make no sense. So now let's just get rid of this camera. The way we do that is right click on it and go to delete. And now let's just reactivate our camera. And it's all fine now. If you guys want to take a quick look at the script again, like I said, it was super easy to do this. It was super easy. You do not have to write that part. And let's just put our script in here. And now we have this. And wanna make sure every now and then you wanna press Control S on here. It really helps out and makes sure it saves your progress. And that's it for this video, guys. And thank you guys for watching this video. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.